gonna flop. Our minds about to pop.
But enough of that noise.
Time for the B-roll, boys.
And welcome to a new episode of B-roll, boys. What's up, boys? It's me, a boy with. There's a lot of boys around. My first boy, Justin. What's up?
What's up?
And my other
harem
boy.
of men.
Well, I'm just your secondary boy.
Well, I have to switch it up every time, right? So first I gotta go Justin Harlan, then Harlan Justin.
Whatever.
I'm not trying to. Listen, I know I hurt you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Whatever.
But why are we here? For
Why are we here?
and dare I say infamous film? I'll say
Infamous,
film.
That's a game.
Good one.
So is Johnny Mnemonic, my friend. Perfect segue. do you want InfoWars, data pirates, cyborgs all in one movie? That's
Do
what
you
you
like
got.
opening title scrolls? Because I don't.
Okay, yeah, it starts out with the most convoluted fucking just ill-worded title screen I've ever seen. You can't follow it. It's written like a fan fiction.
There's also a sweet like 3D embossing effect on it. It looks. What year was this? 95.
This movie, it came out in 95, and
Well,
it
it
is
looks
set. It is set in 2021.
Oh yeah, the
distant
far off
future.
land of 2021.
Boy howdy. Okay, were you guys just not impressed about how much shit that it predicted, right?
I honestly am
Dude,
stunned. This is a mirror of my life right now.
Right?
I dress almost just like the people in this movie do.
It predicted man buns, smart sinks, iPhones, the Oculus Rift, 5G, chainmail, and CRT TVs.
I mean, dude, you'd probably have an easier time talking about what it didn't get right. I think the only thing I noticed that was not accurate to the future is that AT&T's logo was exactly the same.
And that is just so fucking funny.
This movie walked so the world could run,
And
like as it exists today.
well, so I made these two unfortunate souls watch this movie. What do you guys think?
Boring.
Bad.
Boring.
It was bad.
There was
Not good.
action-packed
It was
data,
dumb.
cyberpunk nonsense. The whole thing. You just
I mean, this is better than some of what we've watched, but it's not some fucking masterpiece.
All right, maybe I shouldn't be defending it like it's a good movie or something. But
Oh, like you don't secretly like it?
Like you don't
Stop
have the
making
collector's
us watch
Blu-ray.
shitty movies.
Wes!
what do you? Okay.
Listeners,
this-
if you haven't noticed yet, Wes is secretly picking movies that he actually enjoys.
okay, I
There's a
enjoy it.
poster of it on his wall. I can see it.
It's not back there. So what if I got a poster frame of Johnny Mnemonic? It's none of your goddamn business.
Oh
I'm
fuck!
just
Sorry,
kidding.
that was your Garfield 2 poster. I got it mixed up.
A Tale of Two Kitties.
A classic.
No. But okay, listen. All right. Maybe my film tastes are a little, I don't know, avant-garde. maybe
Truly
I
the
don't,
harsh noise albums of
maybe
movie tastes.
maybe I gain enjoyment from seeing failure, right? I don't know, like I feel like I'm bringing these old classic movies that no one's ever saw but fucking me and like boomers.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
it's
This movie
true.
made a good profit.
Did it make a
I've
good
never heard
profit?
of this movie. I
Yeah,
had no idea.
it doubled its budget.
I didn't know it was that profitable.
According to the Wikipedia machine, I think it doubled its budget.
Did this movie predict Wikipedia?
Well,
Yeah,
while
it was
you're looking that
$26
up,
million budget and a
Okay.
52 million profit worldwide.
this whole thing is to rag on bad movies. I don't think this is a good movie. I can still enjoy it. And really, I guess I gain enjoyment of taking something I've seen a bunch and making you guys watch it and bring you let's say up to my level of
I do
knowledge.
see why people would like this. It's kitschy, but kitschy's not my thing.
Kitsch.
This
It's also
is-
just hard as fuck to follow.
Yeah, like, okay, I'll do my best to describe this movie, like the plot. So Johnny Mnemonical is a flash drive.
They never call him
for
that.
a
His name is
person?
John Smith.
Yeah, or just Johnny.
It's
But-
just Johnny. He's like, share.
As I like to call him, Johnny Mnemonic Device is a flash drive person, and they store data in his head, and he like smuggles it, and
It predicted Lucy.
Oh shit!
Sorry, go on.
They put a cure for some virus in his flash drive head, and that's about all I got.
I like how you generalize it as some virus.
I couldn't tell you anything else about it. I don't fucking know.
You don't fucking know. Okay, listen here, man.
This movie was
in
kind of fucking incoherent. Like,
This-
I don't know. This movie for me was like one of the worst things a movie can be, and that's boring. Like, I fucking
You found
at
this
some
more
point I
boring
checked
than
out.
Snake Eyes.
Yes.
I didn't find it
You
more
found
boring than
this
Snake Eyes.
More boring than Snake Eyes. What was
I
boring about
found
it?
Snake Eyes more entertaining because Nick Cage was at least kind of eating up the scenery in each, whereas is Keanu Reeves in this. He's not very Keanu wholesome 100 big chungus, you know. He's just kinda,
He was never wholesome 100 until like fucking John Wick 1 came out. All right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He sucked until then.
Nick
Yeah, when he
Cage's
murdered
Snake
like
Eyes
100 people in a movie.
Nick Cage's moments were like 10 minutes into Snake Eyes, whereas we're getting vintage Keanu here.
I don't know. I did not enjoy Keanu in this movie.
I wouldn't exactly call this
Okay.
vintage Keanu. We're sandwiched in between Point
That's
Break
fair.
and The Matrix here, and I think he was taking this one off a little bit. Keanu is not good, in my opinion, from the movies I've seen of Keanu Reeves. He's not good at being like a normal guy that acts like a normal person. Like he's a really good character actor, and every single thing I've seen him be really good in, there's some kind of shtick. Either he has to do some kind of physical activity, like something like John Wick or The Matrix, or everybody is so outlandish, kind of like Point Break. And I guess that's what this would fall into as well, is that this is really outlandish.
I don't
But-
know. Yeah, I
Well,
don't, I don't,
He's
I don't
like the
really see
worst.
this as
He's
that.
like the shittiest part of it to me.
He totally works in Point Break though, and he's a relatively
Yeah, Point
normal
Break's great.
person. I love Point Break, but I do agree he's really awkward and stiff. I guess the best way I could describe it is like all of his takes in the movie, they just took the first one, like his warm-up take, and they're like, okay, that's good, and they just left it like that.
Yeah, that sounds plausible.
He kind of over-enunciates every single thing that he says.
Yeah, and like he
Kind of like
he-
this. It's like his intense voice.
Yeah, that's what it is. I don't know. And yeah, like a lot of the dialogue in this movie, like it's one of those movies where it's all like super something about the way it's edited and the delivery of the lines like together. It just makes it seem so stilted and disjointed. It's super awkward and it makes it kind of like it feels weirdly cut together.
There's so much unnecessary camera motion in this. Like, two characters will just have a conversation. The camera's, like, orbiting around them, like, doing the Michael Bay thing. And I'm like, fucking why?
It's because they were talking to Henry Rollins at the time.
Yeah,
Oh,
Spider.
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
pretty
so-
common trend.
Yeah,
I'm surprised I remembered his name.
stupid.
Spider.
But like, we get Keanu nips in the first like 5 seconds of the movie, and first shot Keanu
Yeah.
nips. That's a
Watching
plus.
his sweet
That's a
CRT.
plus. That's a plus for Keanu. All right. We
Yes,
also
and
saw
in
him
the
doing
2021.
bathroom tai chi.
Oh,
That was
yeah, I
cool.
forgot
That was
about
that was physical. All right. You're talking about the physical demands of Hollywood. That's one of them.
I mean, talk about the physical demands. He had to take on 320 gigabytes in his
Oh, yeah.
brain. 1995.
That's a lot.
Fucking people are watching this like, dude, Doom 2 is like 3 megs.
Yeah, I guess we should dive into the plot, huh? So, Keanu is, or excuse me, Johnny.
Well, Harlan kind of like he gave us the
I
skinny
think
on
I
a
said
little
all
bit
there
of
was
it.
too about it. Yeah.
Well,
I'm sorry to steal your thunder.
His data capacity is 320 gigs. Well, actually, it's not. Wasn't it like 160?
It's
Yeah,
160, but
that was
he
after an
one-
upgrade.
No,
it was 160 with a doubler.
Yes,
so
that's
he's
right.
like really overclocking his brain for this. He's running Crisis on his brain stem.
Is this movie just like a warning to
The
not
dangers of
overload yourself?
overclocking.
Yeah, it's the dangers of overclocking. You wouldn't overclock your brain, would you?
You
Fucking
wouldn't
be as
download
badass as
the
Keanu.
You wouldn't download the cure to some virus. What are the symptoms of this virus again? Doesn't the girl have it?
I have no idea. They kept talking about it. It was NAS.
Okay, it's NAS, aka the Black Shakes.
Black Shakes.
Yes. And Harlan, keep up. They said it like 6 times in the movie. Right?
Grow up.
I'm sorry. This is too smart for you. Too sophisticated.
I guess. Okay, I gotta confess. This was one of those movies where I was at least somewhat tempted towards about the hour mark to just fast forward through the rest of it and then just do the podcast anyway. Like I feel like I wouldn't have missed anything. Like I could have had the exact same conversation if I just didn't watch the last 36 minutes of this movie.
You know what? Because I don't think you did.
Whatever,
I don't think
dude,
you watched the entire movie.
You're gonna miss the sweet crucifixion scene.
If you had watched the movie, you would know what the fuck the Black Shakes were.
Okay.
You would know. You would know.
Wes.
Yes.
Wes.
What?
I'm sorry.
Okay. I think it peaked a little there, but that's fine. It's for effect.
Yeah, a little bit.
But
1 to 70, how many times did you come in this movie, Wes?
well, I finished up the first 70 in the first 10 minutes. Then I ran out of cum,
Oh. You're at capacity.
obviously.
Like
But
an empty fire hose.
it is weird to kind of go back and see this now. I haven't seen this movie in a long time.
2 weeks.
And you can you could just tell exactly why Keanu got the Matrix.
Yeah, I thought it was really weird that he did the Matrix after this.
This is the dumbest possible version of it.
It has the brain jacks. It's all of that. I mean, I don't know much about the Wachowskis, but they could have been a fan of the short story. This movie was actually based on a short story written in the 80s and was somehow adapted into both a movie and a FMV video game in the same year.
Have you played it?
I have not. I have seen playthroughs of it.
So you're not really a fan?
It's a full different cast, so I am a fan. No, I'm just kidding. But it's just a point and click. It's very like Dragon's Lair. You basically just watch the movie, but it's a shittier version of the movie. Same shit happens, different actors, and you just kind of have to react to things that come up on the screen and click it, or else you die, and then you just restart the movie, basically.
Speaking of
All
Wachowskis, can we talk about the costumes in this movie? Because
what costumes? They were just wearing the regular clothes.
oh yeah,
That
they're
was
wearing
just-
their usual 2021 clothes,
Yeah,
where it's
that was
this
last
weird,
week.
This
cyber.
this is pretty much how I dress.
It's like cyberpunk raves, but no one bathes.
Yeah, so it's like the raves from The Matrix,
Yeah,
but more cyberpunky.
yeah.
I suppose we
And
should
more
describe it
grime.
for the
Like everything
listeners.
just
Okay,
looks
like-
dirtier and
actually,
gross.
They're wearing chainmail, and they all have like face paint. That's just one line across their face.
Yeah, it's like war
And
paint.
Ice-T has really stupid dreads.
You mean J-Bone?
Yes, J-Bone. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ice-T's got dreads, and he's also got an anarchy tattoo between his eyebrows.
Oh yeah,
Like a
speaking
really
of,
small one
It's
though.
so stupid.
At the rave, we were introduced to Flesh God Apocalypse for the first time.
Yeah, they're playing Korn guitar riffs, and there's some opera singer over it.
And it
Feel
only
so
shows the opera singer on
alive.
stage.
For the
This
very
movie
first time.
paved the way for operatic death metal, the cyberpunk movement. Yeah, I guess there was a movement.
Oh shit! Do you guys
Mescaline.
think Cyberpunk 2077 is just gonna be this again?
Fuck, dude, it might be.
Honestly, Cyberpunk 2077 seems a lot like Johnny Mnemonic. See,
feel like
maybe you're looking at Johnny Mnemonic a little differently now, huh, Harlan?
I'm gonna go cancel my pre-order.
Which is funny. I feel like we're not talking about Johnny Mnemonic that much.
We're just comparing it to other better things.
Well, yeah, I don't have too much to say about this movie. I'm gonna be honest, because I already said what I had to say. It
Man.
bored me. And I don't know. How was the action for you guys? Because one thing that really took me out of the movie was every time there's a lot of screaming in this movie, but it's all it's almost like Troll 2 kind of screaming, where they're just ah, they're in pain or peril or danger, and like it never seems even close to authentic. It's so awkward.
I mean, there were a couple parts of this movie that got me hype, I have to admit, and the top two being those laser whip things where they do like the manhunt wire around the neck but just slices right through. That was cool. And I also like the Jesus character. What's up with him? And he's got the Bowie knife with the cross on it.
I have
that
no
got
idea
me
what was
hype.
with this guy.
He was basically like, again, if you were watching this film,
I watched all
No, I'm just
hour 36 of this.
Me too.
And I did not
okay.
remember what Jesus guy was about.
Dolph Lundgren is a mercenary
Sure.
who's on a misguided path.
Oh.
For for Christ. He's a cyborg, and basically, like, his whole goal is to get money for more cyborg implants, and so they were paying him to go take his head so that they get the information in his brain.
That sounds like a good plot device.
That's the Jesus guy?
Yes.
That didn't sound like you were describing the Jesus guy at all.
I was describing the Jesus' guy backstory. I didn't mention that he carved a knife into a crucifix.
I thought his backstory was just he was a religious fanatic. That's all I fucking could tell you.
That's because all you did was look at him.
Oh, I'm sorry for not. I'm sorry I didn't pull up the damn wiki and fucking read up on the lore for Johnny fucking Mnemonic.
Read up on the lore. We just watched it like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, and all I got was that he was just like crazy for the J-Man.
I got the same thing that you got, Harlan, or that you would have got, fucking Jezebel.
That's jellicle to you. Fucking asshole.
Fucking Judas. How dare you downplay Dolph Lundgren and his crucifix knife?
What was with the dolphin? Alright, there's a dolphin, listeners. There's like a cyborg dolphin that like runs a computer.
The dolphin's
and
like
at the
their
end of the
info
movie
hub.
he shoots the Jesus guy with a laser that he controls for some reason.
Alright, listen.
He's
Harlan,
like their server
about,
farm.
I'm about to fucking school you. Okay?
Please.
So, Johnny Mnemonic meets up with this fucking chick, and you know, his brain's overloaded. He's carrying 320 gigs around. All right?
Why did he meet her?
That's not part of this. You know what? That has nothing to do with this at all. So it's basically like he's got to get this data out of his head or he's gonna fucking die. He's at double capacity, dude.
Why will he die?
He's overclocked
Oh, okay.
up the ass.
Okay.
Motherfucker. You will not hear my tale the same way you watched this movie, which is not at all. you have to absorb it, okay?
Okay,
So,
I'm sorry, please continue.
Go on.
They end up at a underground doctor's office that treats NAS, the
What is
black
NAS?
shakes.
What does it do?
Okay, listen. Henry Rollins, which AKA Spider in the movie. I guess that's his Matrix hacker name.
That's his WoW name.
I'm surprised it wasn't spelled with a Y.
He explains the entire backstory of this thing in like 2 sentences.
Yo,
right?
you think Spider fucks with EVE Online?
Shut up. Fucking. So, NAS, right? Basically, electronics has poisoned the airwaves and created the virus. It's a
Jesus Christ.
it's a techno virus, and this is why you're bored because you weren't fucking listening. And you know
I
what?
think you have that,
what?
like,
You know what the
backwards.
point is? You know what the point is, right? The airwaves are poisoned by electronics all around us. But you know what? We don't care because we need it so much. This movie has a message. We don't want to focus too much on technology. It's going to take over. And I think the valuable lesson that was learned today by Justin and I was lost on you.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah. What?
Why did they need to transport the cure for NAS through Johnny Mnemonical in the first place?
Jesus Christ, dude. So the Yakuza set up shop.
What, the
And the-
Yakuza's in this?
Yeah, dude.
They're the big bads.
Okay, sure, I'll roll with it.
So they have to transport the information so the big pharma company wouldn't have it so the Yakuza can make a profit off of it. they're transporting stolen data, hacked goods in Johnny's brain.
This is really dumb.
Shut up. He can carry 160 gigs, and he's overloaded. So he sees Henry Rollins. He can't do anything. Henry Rollins fucking sucks.
320 gigs isn't that much. Like in the grand scheme of things, it's not that much.
Dude, for 95, that was off the fucking chain, dude.
This is 2021. I just bought a 4 terabyte hard drive for like $80.
Okay, this movie was made in 95. It was written in fucking 81. This is a lot of power we're talking here, dude.
Why did it take so long to get made?
I don't know, because it sucks, all right? What do you want me to say?
It's probably too big a brain for everyone to...
It's, you know what? It's too big brain for one of us. Justin.
Whatever, dude. I was watching.
I was watching too. This movie's just fucking dog shit.
So I'm getting to the best part. Holy shit.
The end.
So they go to see J-Bone's crew, the low-techs.
J-Bone?
J-Bone is Ice-T, the one
Ice-T.
weird guy with the...
Okay.
What's with the guns in this, by the way? Why are all the guns able to be taken apart and they look like Nerf toys?
Guns are able to be taken apart, Justin. I don't know what to tell you.
You can't take apart every single part of a gun and have it work. Like...
Have you seen...
Keanu Reeves has got, like, this giant Nerf rifle, and he takes a bunch of parts off it, and then he's got a functional pistol. It's not how that works.
It's 2021, man.
Yeah,
guns will be like that in a year.
There you go. Now I'm on Team Harlan. Fuck
yeah,
you.
I forgot. Sorry, I forgot that. Like, when does this take place? Like
guns,
6 months in the future from when recording?
Guns are modular.
A little more than 6 months.
Guns are modular.
Because it's supposed to be January of 2021.
Right,
so okay, 7 months. Excuse me.
Okay, so
anyway.
in 7 months, I can declare this movie officially horseshit.
Right, there's still time. There's still time to achieve this.
A lot of shit's going on right now, Harlan. You don't know what's about to happen. Maybe Keanu Reeves is carrying some fucking data through customs or something. I don't know. All right?
Yeah, maybe he's been implanted on the set of Bill and Ted 3.
Maybe he's not even human. Maybe he was just a robot.
Like 320 gigs. I think that's what I'm using on my D drive right now. Like around that amount.
I bet.
It's mostly games and like got some files. I don't know.
Anyway.
So Henry Rollins sends them to our boy J-Bone, Ice-T, Harlan. And
when did they meet J-Bone?
I don't know, like,
dude,
like a third of the way through.
Yeah, a lot of stupid stuff.
Why? How did they meet him?
So they end up at J-Bone's lair, the fucking low-techs, right? And at first, he needs a little persuading, right? So they're like, "Oh, Spider sent us." And Ice-T's like, "Oh shit, Spider sent you. Come on in.
I know that.
Check out our entire technological infrastructure because you know Spider."
That fucking incel in the cave that
dolphin.
plays WoW all day with the dolphin.
Yeah, so they take him in there, and they just have like a fucking pyramid of CRT TVs, and it's like a giant server cluster, basically. And they're talking to Ice-T, and like, okay, who's the one that can save me? My it's really starting to hurt, man. And then they show him, well, here's your savior. They look over, it's a fucking dolphin in a tank. This guy looks cool, right?
What, the dolphin?
The dolphin? Yeah.
He's just like hooked up to a bunch of... It looks like he's on life support. And he's in this like tiny little tank. He doesn't look very happy.
It's the crossover with Echo the Dolphin.
He's super happy, dude. I bet you they offered to let him out, but he won't fucking do it.
How would he convey that? He just kind of squeaked.
He is full of cybernetic implants. I'm sure he can communicate.
He shot a laser at the end of the movie.
They're about to rely on him to hack a dude's brain, and you're bringing this up?
This movie's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I forgot that dolphin is super happy.
He's super happy. He just gets to sit there and play WoW all fucking day. COVID dropped in 2020. His life didn't change a single fucking bit. He's sitting in that tank, cyber hacking when he needs to, when he's called upon by his fellow mammal brethren.
How many monitors does he use?
Oh yeah, and Keanu Reeves, he kind of pissed me off. He kept calling him a fish, even when he was corrected. He did my boy Jones dirty. Yes, that's the name of the dolphin.
See,
I just really watched this, and I never once picked up that the dolphin's name was Jones.
I was really hoping that the dolphin would be revealed to be Johnny Mnemonic because our actual protagonist Johnny is never called Johnny Mnemonic. He's John Smith.
Yeah.
So I
he
was
switched
hoping
out
there'd be
Johnny Utah for
some-
John Smith.
Johnny Smith, you fucking dumpling.
I was hoping
Alright,
there'd
listen.
be some sick twist where it was like, yes, the dolphin is Johnny Mnemonic.
Okay, I knew you were gonna bring up how dumb the dolphin was, right? Okay, but this came from the source
How'd you know
material.
that?
This came from the source material, and I've been waiting for this, Harlan. All right.
Wow.
He was
how it was in the
more.
comics.
Listen. He was.
Graphic
was-
novel.
It was a short story in a sci-fi magazine or something. Okay.
Wow, that sounds good.
He was more than a dolphin, but from another dolphin's point of view, he might have seemed like something less. I watched him swirling sluggishly in his galvanized tank. Water slopped over the side, wetting my shoes. He was surplus from the last war. A
Galvanized
cyborg.
looks like a fish tank.
He rose out of the water, showing us the crusted plates along his sides, a kind of visual pun. His grace nearly lost under armor, clumsy and prehistoric. Twin deformities on either side of his skull had been engineered to house sensor units. Silver less.
Are you reading this right now?
Yes! Silver lesions gleamed on exposed sections of his gray-white hood. This
Wow.
is Jones. This is Jones surmised from the short story, and I hope you learned something today. I'm waiting. Speak up. That was fucking cool, right?
I'm at a loss for words right now. You're really invested in this.
I have nothing to add.
I've never seen a bigger Johnny Mnemonic fan.
You've never seen a single one.
You know,
That's what I was gonna say.
I expected this to be us just talking about a bad movie, and this ended up being kind of a transcendent experience. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you.
Fuck off.
Because
No, it wasn't.
when I first saw this movie, I was transcended as fuck. Take that as you will.
You went on a vision quest, as it were. This is a different format than what we've normally done. We're educating. We're not shitting on this. We're educating.
Also,
I'm edge.
also
Kating. All right.
is PETA just constantly up Ice-T's ass about this fucking dolphin? So they're just
You know,
like checking in once every month. They're like, dude, you're feeding him.
Are you taking
Dude,
your
he
dolphin
probably
out for a
stole
walk?
it. You think that dolphin's hot?
Is that the same dolphin from Ace Ventura?
No, that's Dan Marino. A little sports joke.
A little
Probably
sports joke.
Fucking drooling nerds out there.
Everyone that was just piping hot, creamy, ready to listen to this Johnny Mnemonic episode is like, man, I really hope there's some Miami Dolphins reference in there.
Thanks. We were
Fins
the
up.
B-roll boys. Good night.
No, I'm not done with you, Harlan. No, I'm just kidding. What do you guys think? What are you gonna get?
So you are done.
Well, you're
So
not
essentially,
adding
this is
anything.
about a guy that was a fucking portable flash drive. They put a PDF file in his head. That's a.
Yeah, like why did it have to be in
It's
his
just
brain?
that here's the
like,
cure. Here, we've got the PDF cure to this disease. It's the disease that is caused because too many people are on their devices and too dependent on technology. So they use technology to put shit into this guy's brain, and he's just got to go from point A to point B. But then he gets jacked, and then
Basically.
I don't know what happens. And then there's like a Resident Evil AI thing,
There's a
and that's the
Evil
girl
AI
that's
thing.
talking on the screen. It's an AI.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Oh yeah, there's also that shit where he like at the end of the movie after he like defeats his present physical threats, where he like goes into the Matrix and like fights the girl's face and he like wrestles it and it's like this really
That's the
shitty
AI.
looking. Yeah, it's like this really shitty animation that looks like that level from Shadow the Hedgehog when he goes into the internet.
But Harlan, the final threat was his own mind.
Was it?
Honestly,
God
as
damn.
stupid as this was, these like CGI sequences probably looked fucking baller for a depiction of cyberspace in '95. That was like one of the least offensive parts of it. Like at
Yeah.
least that was where I was kind of hype.
Yeah, he jacks into the cyberspace. You can just go on the interwebs, like in an Oculus Rift thing. It has 2 power gloves and a visor and all that, and all those scenes are fucking amazing. It's okay, but on top of that, I do feel like that this should have just been the video game. I don't know if they like that all would have worked for that kind of shit, but I don't think it needed to be a movie and a video game.
It's like an escort mission as a movie.
Oh, and at the very end, when he's in the fucking interwebs thing, did you guys enjoy the Star Wars moment? When
What
Ice-T
was it?
basically comes up next to him, he's like, the only way is to hack your own brain.
That struck me as more Matrix-y than Star Wars-y.
Yeah.
Well, it's
It's like a
his
free your
Force-
mind Neo.
It's
thing.
like his Force Ghost. It's like both. It draws from two very powerful lores.
I don't know, man. Luke Skywalker wasn't a fucking flash drive. God.
Maybe
Well,
he should have been.
Maybe it should have been. He plugged right into that Death Star, blew it up. So,
Just installed Carrie's mod on the Death Star.
what would you rate it?
5.
4, I guess.
4.
Barely.
You're giving it a 4. I'm honestly
Yeah.
surprised. What did you give Sherlock Gnomes?
I don't fucking
I
remember.
gave that like a 3 or 4, I think.
What did Harlan
don't
give
remember.
Sherlock Gnomes?
I don't remember.
Because if there's 1 point of difference between Sherlock Gnomes and Johnny Mnemonic for you, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
I mean, this is like barely a 4. Like it's if it were a little bit more boring, it'd be a 3.
So I think I'm actually gonna give this maybe my highest on the show so far.
Jesus Christ.
What? I'm not
Higher than Spy Kids 3?
I gave that shit an 8.
Yeah, don't you dare fucking rate this higher than Spy Kids 3D. Game over.
I don't even remember what I rated that. I guess I need to backlog this shit. I'm gonna give it a 6. Mainly, fuck you, Harlan.
It's too high.
No, it's not high. And okay, when we have to come up with something good to say about it, I can't fucking wait. I can't fucking wait to see what you're gonna say. But
I don't even remember what I was gonna say. There was some point in the movie where I was like, "This is what I'm gonna compliment later on," and I don't even fucking remember what it was.
I will say I like the practical effects. I think they're fun. That laser whip thing, the Bowie knife, the like part where someone gets slashed like Resident Evil and they fall into pieces.
Okay.
I thought that was kind of dope.
I'll agree, and I'll steal that one. I do want to point out though that the blood looked really weird for some reason. Like it didn't look like blood at all.
Yeah, the blood looked like shit.
well, it's 2021 blood.
That's
Blood
that's
looked
COVID
different.
blood. It's COVID. I was wondering why they kept calling it NAS instead of NAS, and I was like, oh wait, because NAS was like a real person and like relevant at that time.
Yeah, Boss Nass.
Not that NAS isn't cool now, but NAS was like the fucking shit at that time. I wonder if he would have gotten mad if this movie used his likeness for a virus.
Probably. I mean, this movie was a huge hit, right?
Huge hit. Double its budget is not bad. I didn't know it made that much money. I thought it was like a way
Granted,
shittier
its
than
budget
that.
and relative to what it could have been is like nothing.
But I guess I technically have 2 good things, but we already touched on one of them. That being Dolph Lundgren as like the merc preacher guy is fucking amazing. He has a giant
that's
Rambo
definitely
knife.
one of
with
the best characters. He's probably the only memorable character in the movie for me.
Okay, go to your grandma's house and look up above a doorway. You'll see a crucifix with Jesus on it. And he has that on a fucking Rambo knife. And that's the most badass thing ever. But aside from that, I guess really the source material, the idea of it is really creative. Especially for the 90s. I feel like it appealed to a lot of people that was getting into technology and shit. I feel like it was good for that kind of thing. And like the source material coined the term cyberspace, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's what we needed.
So
Actually, it's pretty neat.
I don't know. I like the creativeness of it. I just don't think it was executed as nearly as well as it could have been. Like this could have been like a Blade Runner type deal if they did it right, but they didn't do it right. I know we talk about reboots and how shitty reboots could be, but I think if some crazy fucker out there tried to make a good Johnny Mnemonic movie, I feel like it could exist.
Yeah. Trivia?
Is it trivia hour?
It is. A whole hour of trivia I have for you, listener.
And then rated.
I only have a few mildly interesting things that I found about this movie. Number 1, the script for the movie was allegedly dropped on Keanu's doorstep, and he found the method of delivery. That's what piqued his interest in the movie. He said I think he said he probably otherwise wouldn't have given a shit, but he just found it on his doorstep and he was like, cool.
I respect the hustle. I'm gonna commit.
That's pretty neat. You don't really hear shit like that. So
So at the beginning of the movie, it says Internet 2021. There are some Japanese characters above it, and apparently they translate to hackneyed, cliched. Which, yeah, okay.
Nice.
They fucking knew. They knew it was bad.
I can't wait to hear this other 59 minutes of trivia. Go on.
Yeah, we're blowing through it. Bono almost did the soundtrack for the movie.
Almost. Instead, they went with an even shittier Fear Factory style band.
Yeah. Who knows what we missed out on. And my last one, apparently they originally wanted this to be like a low-budget, artsy kind of movie. They wanted only $1.5 million, and they couldn't get that funding. They could only make the jump to $30 million.
You could have still made it artsy for $30 million.
I mean, yeah, you could have just pocketed the difference.
They could have made it like really good artsy. That actually kind of pisses me off. Because just like what I was talking about earlier, if they did it right, like that's a good problem to have. You go in wanting 1.5 million, and they're like, no, you're getting 30 million. But I guess at the same time, when you introduce that, the producers are like, okay, this is our fucking movie now.
That's a good point.
And they tell them. So I don't know. Maybe it could have been better.
I guess we'll never know, because I don't see anyone reviving Johnny Mnemonic anytime soon.
Maybe it'll be me.
One of the great mysteries.
Oh, I also wanted to ask, how many people do you think like were interested in this movie but couldn't find it because they didn't know how to spell mnemonic?
I guess that's fair.
I'll admit I didn't know how to spell mnemonic, so like I was trying to find this movie and I was like, what the fuck, where's Johnny Mnemonic? Like
all the dum-dums in the audience are like, wait, I thought, why is this called Johnny Mnemonic?
Mnemonic.
And have either of you heard about this before?
No.
Okay,
I want to say I might have heard the name, but it was probably from you. Like a year or two ago.
I'm pretty sure that people only know this movie because I have mentioned it. I am
single-handedly raked in
I'm keeping the memory
$60 million.
So I feel good. I feel like I'm doing my part. And now we just have to spread NAS awareness. Don't get the black shakes. Stay inside.
Why is it called the Black Shakes?
I'm not going into this again.
Like,
it's a genuine question.
Because she gets the shakes, Harlan Christ.
That's just what it does to you. That's what technology does to you, man.
Yeah, she fucking bugs out.
You know why? It's a physical representation of our need for technology, Harlan. All right? It's like, oh my god, I need my fucking computer. And then they get the black shakes. What's so hard to understand? This message is completely gone on you.
Nothing. Yeah, no, the whole movie just clicked for me. I get it now.
Thank you. Now,
you know what we're watching next week?
Shut up. What do you rate it now? After that realization, what do you rate it now?
3 out of 10.
All right. Justin, what are we watching next week?
We're watching 2008's Hancock.
Oh,
great.
And I like shit.
Who says I like this movie? This movie's fucking garbage.
Who says I like Johnny Mnemonic? You guys put that on me.
I haven't watched Hancock probably since around the time it came out, and I don't recall hating it. That sounds like the kind of movie that I would have found passable back then. So it'd be cool to revisit it.
Same. I saw it once in the theater, and I never watched it again. So it's basically be all new to me.
I'll give my detailed thoughts on it next week when I choke through it again.
That's a cliffhanger.
I love cliffhangers. It always works.
You're trash, bro.
I need a second, okay? Why can't anybody give me a goddamn second?
Hold on. You dig on multiverses?
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah! Cover my eyes! Ah!
That's it. What, we some kind of...
B-roll boys.